Well then, let's go.
Thor's Military Academy, Class 7.
Prepare to advance to the final sector of the Imperial Fortress!
Right!
This infernal darkness. It's as if it leads straight to Gehenna.
Even more so, since the blazing demon is waiting for us ahead.
Guess it's up to us to shed some light in here. We are the Radiant Wings, after all.
I'll take you on. My turn. All right, gunning for you.
I'll care for you.
Thanks. I'm up.
Yes! Ha! Good work, everyone.
A powerful foe.
What a passionate foe.
Arcane Veil! Ha! Now!
I've got you. Let's go. Yeah!
All right. Over here. They're down.
It's mine! I'm going! Ha! Now's our chance!
An opening!
Weak! Now!
You're wide open.
Got it! I'm going! There!
Thanks.
All right. I'm cutting in. Yeah.
Got it!
Let's go! Shit!
I'm going! Yeah!
Back at you. Moving out. Wreak havoc. Chaos storm. My turn. All right. Let's do this. Blade of darkness. Cleave my foes. See you in Gehenna. Fourfold Slayer. You messed with the wrong guy.
Shit!
Now's our chance.
Arcane Gale! Ha!
It's my turn! Ha! Now's our chance!
An opening!
Let's go! Huh. Yeah! It's down!
You're wide open. Moving out. All right, gunning for you. All right, I'm cutting in. Yeah.
Weak! Now!
You're wide open.
Weak! Battle complete. Let's move.
Don't let up! Arcane Gale! Ha!
All right. How do you like this? Awaken. There.
It's mine! It's my turn! Ha! Now's our chance!
An opening!
Let's go! Ha! Take that!
Not on my watch!
Take that! Let's go! Ha! Yeah!
I'm up! Ha!
I'm going! Don't look at me like that! Ugh. complete. Let's move.
Oh, that's what I'm talking about.
It's a tough one.
Hey-ya!
Danger level's high. Watch out. Don't look at me like that. Pow! Now's our chance!
An opening! I'm up! Roar! Helix strike!
All right. Wreak havoc! Chaos storm! Moving out. Yeah. There!
It's mine! My turn. Yeah! Yeah! My turn. I'm going! Yeah!
It's my turn! Ha!
Moving out.
Yeah!
Got it. Yeah! Yeah! Weak. It's down.
You're wide open!
My turn. Let's go. Ha!
Thanks.
Thanks for the help.
I got your back!
Thanks.
Moving out. Yeah. There!
It's mine!
Let's go! Ha!
Yes! Yeah! Let's go!
An opening!
Ta-ta! That one was all for you, Instructor Reen.
Well, I appreciate it, Muse. Nice work. Everyone ready? Sit!
My turn.
Yeah!
We're low on time. Let's move.
Ha! Ta! Ready? Ta! Ha! Sit! Ta! Sit!
Let's start the battle.
Arcane Gale! Ha!
My turn.
Sha!
It's my turn. Yeah! Now's our chance! Holo
Leave it to me!
This is the power of love!
Looks like a toughie. Stay on your toes.
Ooh, a tough one.
There! Gonna have to step up our game for this one.
Don't look at me like that! Pow! Let's go!
An opening! I'm up! Roar! Healing strike! It's down!
I've got you! My turn. It's down!
You're wide open! Alright!
My turn. It's my turn! Yeah!
Let's go!
Alright! They're down!
It's mine! Let's go!
Let's go!
Got it! Yeah! Yeah! I'm going!
My turn.
Let's go! Now!
I've got you! Let's go! Yeah! Yeah!
It's my turn! It's down!
I've got you! That one was all for you, Instructor Rean.
Well, I appreciate it, Muse. Nice work. All right, got it!
Ready.
Shit!
Man, took you guys long enough. I was getting fed up waiting here. Thought you might have died on the way or something.
You just can't hold back anymore, can you?
His overwhelming power is pouring out. The black flames that engulf all.
McBurn, do you remember what you said to me 2 years ago?
Interesting. You mix by any chance? Something foreign, unnatural, mixed into their body itself. Different to the Church's stigmas. Looks like a pretty small part of it in your case, though.
So how much of you is unnatural?
All of me. Yeah. I remember our nice little chat on the Pantagruel.
The Pantagruel? That must have been during the Civil War.
So that's what they talked about.
I finally understand what you meant back then. That part of me that was mixed in is Osborn's heart. It's not only the source of this power of mine, but also what connected me to the curse and made me a sacrifice.
Marine!
Don't give me too much credit. I just had a hunch is all. But looking at you now, it's much more than just a small part of you. Nothing compared to me, though.
Well, of course not. How could I compare when you're not even from this world to start with? Right, McBurn?
He's not from this world.
What does that even mean?
None of this makes any sense.
We were raised to believe that this was the one true world created by Aidios. In fact, we're incapable of even considering otherwise. The existence of angels and devils on other planes was as much as we were allowed to understand. But we can't even contemplate the idea that anything might exist beyond the bounds of Zemuria.
What do you... There's something beyond Zemuria?
This is an example of the divergent laws. Things we simply cannot understand or even begin to explain. For example, no matter how far you try to fly or sail away from the continent, you're unable to progress past a certain point.
What?
You're kidding me!
It's not a well-known phenomenon, but it was recently verified through research. Despite a number of attempts to figure out why, science simply can't give us an answer. Yet, similarly to the artifacts, it's something that backs the existence of Aidios.
Ah, so that's where she comes in.
By attributing everything we don't understand to Aidios, we stop thinking for ourselves.
Given my position, this isn't something I'm especially proud of. But the Church's stance is that so long as order is maintained in the world, we shouldn't do anything to disrupt it.
The mages and witches of the Middle Ages weren't quite as commendable, however. As such, we theorize there must be something else behind all of the mysterious events we've noticed throughout the centuries.
The divergent laws. In other words, the laws that govern what lies beyond the world Aidios created. And at times, certain things from beyond make it into our world, causing inexplicable phenomena.
Inexplicable phenomena. Now that you mention it.
That does ring a bell, huh, Sarah?
Oh.
Yeah, it makes sense now. Inexplicable is the only word I can think of to describe the salt pail appearing in Northumbria 28 years ago.
Yeah, it was an anomaly on a massive scale, but there was no evidence of it being related to a Septarian.
After it appeared, Father Barkhorn went to conduct an investigation on it. But to be honest, the Church wasn't able to reach any kind of conclusion on where it came from, so it was simply deemed a manifestation of the goddess's powers.
No one can blame them for that. We're all human in the end, and some things we simply can't understand. Yet, in spite of that, there was one group who became obsessed with discovering the truth behind it all. They were ravenous in their pursuit, willing to go to any length, no matter how vile or demonic.
Wait! You don't mean...
The DG cult. Though they focused their efforts in Crossbell, they were operating all over the continent.
In truth, though, they were being controlled by the Croix family the whole time.
Say what you want about those cultists, but they pulled off something amazing. They're the ones who created Gnosis. A drug that frees you from the shackles of this world.
They made something like that?
But more importantly, assuming this is all true, then
McBurn, you really are someone from beyond this world, aren't you? Hell, are you even human?
You're half right.
What is that?
The other half of me. The part of me from beyond. The half of me from here was human. That's why I look the way I do. And before you start asking, no. I don't remember a thing about what the other side is like. Only thing I remember is when my two halves fused together. We collided, ourselves mixing together so completely, there was no way to split us apart. And in the end, we became me.
So that's what you meant when you said all of you was mixed.
It's like when the Holy Beast and the Hexen clan's elder merged into one.
No, Emma. He's on a completely different level from Rose. But if that's true, then
His true essence is that of a calamity given form. Just like the salt pail.
Now you're starting to catch on. It's been 50 years since I appeared in this world. I've been trying to figure out what I really am the whole time. Trying to dredge up any scrap of memories from where I came from. Trying to figure out what I'm even doing here. The one thing I knew for sure was that I'd need to return to my original form to get everything back. Thing is, if I did that, I'd absolutely annihilate everything around me. Just like how the salt pail did. That's why this great Twilight business is the perfect chance. The reality of the world's already being twisted and warped by all this strife they're using to reforge the Great One. So I don't have to worry one bit if my true self completely tears it apart!
Is he a devil?
Yes! This feels right! This is it! My memories are still missing, though. I figured as much. I was hoping I'd be able to take on Osborn, but I guess you'll have to do. Now, give me everything you got. Draw out my full power so I can get back everything I lost.
I guess we have no choice. Class 7, prepare for battle!
On my pride as a witch, I'll hold back this calamity's flames.
I'll back you up, but you guys better win, no matter what it takes!
Right!
Now this is a stage. Give me everything you got!
Yeah! I'm up!
Wreak havoc! Chaos Storm!
It's my turn! Eternally flowing. Form is emptiness. Emptiness is form. First! Second! Third! Fourth! Fifth! Sixth! Seventh! 8 leaves. Luminous abyss!
Lame.
Weak.
Lame.
It's down.
You're wide open! Alright! Alright! Let's do this! Blade of Darkness! Cleave my foes! See you in Gehenna! Forfu! Slayer!
Flame!
Yes!
Healing breath!
Thanks!
Weak! It's down! Alright, let's do this!
I hear you!
Leave it to me! There! My turn. Alright, let's do this. Now! Join! Ha! Now, for the big finish! Lethal Crusade!
Flame! Harder! Turn up the heat!
It's my turn!
Roar!
Helix strike!
Flame!
It's down!
Attack!
My blood's boiling!
Answer my prayers and appear before us! Unfaltering, the lone guardian shield! Elegant, a mirror gleaming in the darkness! Shine, Palace of Eregion!
Sorry. This is the end. Incandescent Hellfire! Flame!
It's my turn! Come through! It's down!
Attack!
How about this?
Let's go! My turn. Ha! Now!
You're wide open!
Weak! It's down!
You're wide open! My turn. All right, let's do this. Blade of Darkness, cleave my foes. See you in Gehenna. Forfu, Slayer.
Got it. Yeah. Now.
You're wide open.
Let's go!
I'm going. Huh?
Weak. Now.
You're wide open.
I'll treat you immediately.
Thanks.
my turn. Let's go! Yes! Arcus, activate!
Not on my watch! Guess I'll use this! Turn to ashes! Burn!
Let my guard down.
I'm up! Ha!
Thanks. Yeah!
Flame!
It's my turn! Tuh!
Yes! Huh?
How about this?
Take this!
There!
Thanks.
It's some kind of divergent barrier. Maybe I can handle it.
Reed, now is the time. Summon me.
I'm up! Heed my call. Valimar, the Ashen Knight! Shit! Hey-ya! This is the end!
You broke through!
I can't afford to lose.
That's how it's done.
I did it! I did it! Yeah, I did it!
A matter of course.
I did it!
I must train even more.
Huh?
What's he doing?
So that's it. I spent all that time looking for answers. And it turns out...
You remember now?
That little rat Campanella sure got me good. And Ouroboros, huh? They couldn't have picked a better name than that.
He's back to normal.
How do I put this? Sorry for the trouble, guys.
The hell's that coming from? Hold on just a second.
Well, that was certainly unexpected.
Is it safe to say you've accomplished that little goal of yours?
Yeah. Half of it, at least. Gotta admit, you guys weren't too bad. I wasn't sure you'd pull it off. Guess I should have given you more credit. Since you took down the Steel Maiden and all.
I take it you're not going to answer our questions then?
Look, I get that this is just the way you are. But we're not messing around here. A simple sorry's not gonna cut it.
If you really want to make it up to us, help us out.
That's right. You'd make for quite the asset in our battle against the Ebon Knight.
Nah. I'd just get in the way.
A teleportation circle.
I've got a new objective now. Think I'll pay Campanella and the Grandmaster a little visit. The Third Anguis, too. Got a few choice questions for them. Should probably add the Abyss to that list. Not sure if this makes up for all the crap I put you guys through. But here, Schwarzer, Ashen Knight. Take this.
What is that?
Wow! It's so pretty!
A primordial flame. The purest essence of fire.
Hey!
What's happening?
It's okay. I'm fine. Thank you, McBurn. I can feel just how powerful this gift is.
Allow me to extend my thanks as well, Overlord of the Beyond. I have no doubt this will prove invaluable for the final rivalry.
Glad to hear it. Just a heads up, you can probably only use it once, so make it count.
Understood. I appreciate it. I don't plan on making friends with you or anyone else in Ouroboros, but I wish you the best of luck, McBurn. I hope you find what you're looking for, without causing any more trouble.
I'll do what I can. No promises, though. Well, Schwarzer, Class 7, try not to die, yeah? And Crow. Later.
So long, McBurn.
Got this in the bag.
We defeated McBurn, but the darkness seems even deeper now.
It's not your imagination. We're getting close to the twisted heart of this cursed empire.
Hey! Brighten up, you guys! We can do this!
Yeah, you're right.
A daunting foe. Let's test our might.
There's an opening.
Arcane Gale! Ha! It's down!
I've got you. It's my turn. Ha! Let's go.
An opening!
My turn.
All right, gunning for you. There!
It's mine! Take that! My turn.
Let's go! Shit! It's down!
I've got you. I'm going. Don't look at me like that. Pow!
My turn.
Let's go. Now.
You're wide open.
It's my turn. Arcus activate.
Give me a break.
My turn.
Thanks.
It's my turn. Yeah.
Ha!
Thanks.
Thanks for the help.
My turn.
All right. All right, I'm cutting in. You messed with the wrong guy.
This is nice.
Sit! Sit!
Ready.
Sit!
Now's our chance.
Arcane Gale! Ha!
Let's go. Exterminating.
All right. Wreak havoc. Chaos Storm. Moving. All right. Gunning for you. Over here.
I'm going! Yeah! Now's our chance!
An opening!
Let's go. Yeah.
Not on my watch! Let's go!
I'm going! Aw, leaving so soon? Penta shot!
Moving out.
Got it. Threat eliminated. Sheesh.
Heads up. That one means business.
That enemy is strong. Please be careful.
Ready.
What a passionate foe!
Roar! Healing strike!
Moving out. All right. I'm cutting in. Judgment time. Eat this.
Yes! Don't look at me like that! Pow! Now's our chance!
An opening!
Let's go. Yeah. Weak. Take that. Let's go. Now.
You're wide open.
I'm up.
Wreak havoc. Chaos Storm.
Let's go.
Now!
I've got you! Yes! Ha! Let's go!
An opening!
That one was all for you, Instructor Reen.
Well, I appreciate it, Muse. Nice work.
So this is really it, huh?
Yes. Our final opponent awaits us just beyond this door.
Yeah.
Before we go, I want to say how proud I am of each and every one of you for making it this far.
Instructor.
Sarah?
You know, Class 7 started out as just a social experiment. It was made up of students from a number of diverse backgrounds who were all highly compatible with the Arcus units. But we didn't expect any of you would have backgrounds as crazy as Reen's or Emma's. This class far exceeded every expectation. I'm sure Prince Olivert and Principal Van Dyke couldn't have imagined you'd come this far. What's more, you guys became the closest group I've ever seen. You're all irreplaceable to each other. And even though they both had ulterior motives, when Milliam and Crow joined, they fit right in too. But it didn't end there. We got a new generation of members under Reen's guidance. The final pieces of Class 7. Yuna, Kurt, Altina, Ash, and Muse. As your guys' former homeroom teacher, I guess what I want to say is, Class 7 is the best there is. Not that there was any doubt.
Man, I wasn't ready for that.
The best there is, huh? I seem to recall a certain someone saying that before the trial at the old schoolhouse.
And yet the words carry so much more weight now.
Wait, seriously? I thought I was being original there.
Yep. Word for word.
Oh yeah! That was the one time you didn't come with us.
Heck, even I was there for that one. Wait a sec. If you weren't there, how'd you become a secondary contractor with the rest of us?
That's a fair point, actually. You never took part in the trial.
Yet somehow you've been linked to Valimar this whole time.
How perplexing.
Hey! Is that your guys' whole takeaway?
Well, when you think about it, the 5 of us are the same.
Maybe the important part is the feeling that you belong in Class 7.
And most of all, the way the Awakener, Instructor Reen, thinks of you.
As far as I'm concerned, Instructor Sarah's always been one of us.
So basically you're saying she's no different from a bunch of high schoolers.
Now, maybe it just means she bonds so well with her students she starts acting like one.
I try to give an uplifting speech and this is the thanks I get? Come on! You guys just can't give me a break, can you?
We're just joking. But jokes aside, that's just what we needed to hear.
Thank you, Instructor. It truly means a lot.
Glad to hear it. All right, Reen. You know what to do.
Yeah. I'll keep this short. All we have left to do is prove our strength and determination. What awaits us beyond this door is the cause of everything. The source of the curse, and its final rivalry. And with it, Erebonia's most influential chancellor, the reincarnation of a legendary emperor. Shouldering the fate of the continent would be daunting to almost anyone. But we're Class 7, the best there is. We can do this! It's time. Let's destroy this curse once and for all, and light the way to a brighter future for the whole world! Right!
Let me take a look.
Tell me of your glory.
Well, not bad at all.
Ciao for now, Reen.
so relaxing.
Looks like this is it, man. Guess I better say it now. Thanks for everything. It's been a blast.
Crow. Yeah. I don't know what's going to happen, but we're in this together. To the very end.
You said it.
So, you've come. I suppose I should commend you for making it this far. You defeated my Ironbloods, the Anguis, the almighty Conflagration, and moreover, acquired the powers of the other knights. Those were no small feats.
It's true. Each battle pushed us to our very limit. I should have expected no less of those who chose to serve you.
Perhaps I may have gone a little overboard in my quest to fuel this fortress. But no matter. All the conditions have been met now. The beginning of the end is at hand. However, before that, Valimar, to me, bring the sword with you.
What? Oh, right. He was Valimar's previous Awakener, wasn't he?
Reen, what shall I do?
It's fine. You can come.
It's been a long time, Dracos. Ah, my mistake. In this life, you were known as Gileath Osborn, correct?
Call me by any name you like. You have my thanks for looking after Reen. Moreover, it seems you've recovered your memories.
Indeed. I owe that to Leanne.
Yeah, and it's thanks to her I can do this now.
Millium. I'm glad we were able to talk like this once more. I will have to give my thanks to Leanne for both of you.
Yeah, she was a pretty incredible person. I'm glad to see you too, Gramps.
I welcome you as well, other members of Class 7. Alisa, Machias, Eustace, Elliot, Emma, Fee, Gaius, Muse, Celine, Ms. Valestine, Laura, Kurt, Black Rabbit, Yuna, and Ash. I must apologize to you three, but you especially, Armbrust.
Ugh, where's this coming from? All I ever wanted was to settle the score for my grandfather. I might have taken it a bit too far, but then again, so did you.
Most definitely.
How can he be so calm?
He seems so composed and confident.
This is the kind of iron will that belongs to the greatest Chancellor and the Lionheart Emperor.
Not only that, but this man is also the Awakener of the Ebon Knight, and Instructor Reen's father.
Gileath Osborn. Even though I've known you're my father for some time, it didn't feel real until now. That's not to say I don't still consider Teo Schwarzer my father, after all he did for me.
I'm sure Teo would be happy to hear that. You are his son, just as much as you are mine. In the same way, you are both Lucia's and Kasha's son. Perhaps you could even be considered Leanne's son as well.
I suppose you may be right. We finally learned the truth about you, from glimpses of your past in the reflecting pool. We saw what the curse did to you, how you fell into Ishmelga's grasp. You became one with the Ebon Knight, yet you managed to retain your personality, thanks to your iron will. In the end, you were the one who chose to become the Empire's enemy, the world's enemy, our enemy.
We knew you'd stop at nothing to reach your goal. If we didn't step in to stop you, you would have destroyed the world without the slightest hesitation.
But I'm sure you didn't expect us to fight back so successfully with Mille Mirage and the Radiant Wings. No matter how the rivalries play out, we still have a chance of stopping the end.
Agreed. Radiant Wings in particular was a surprise even to me.
Yes, indeed. You've done well. In the last moments of my life as Dreikel's, I despaired for the future the curse would bring. Because of that, Leanne felt an unnecessary obligation to take things into her own hands. But seeing all of you here before me, it would seem my fears were unfounded.
We saw that blade at the Black Workshop. It's as if it was forged with all the malice in the world.
Sorta reminds me of the sword Millium turned into. But at the same time, it's completely different.
This is another sword of the end, belonging to the Ebon Knight itself. Due to certain circumstances, however, it was unable to be used to slay the Holy Beast. Nonetheless, its power far surpasses any weapon this world has ever seen. Now then, shall we begin the final preparations? I command you, as Dreikel's Raisei Arno, he who built your foundation. Strike at me with everything you have! Show me the depth of your will, Thor's Class 7!
Yes, sir! Yes, Your Majesty!
You shall kneel at the foot of the lion!
Triumph! Avalon Hearts!
get a little serious. Northern Lightning! That make you feel tingly?
Gotcha!
Yes! Let's go! Orbital Gear EXA, activate! Ha! Orbital Laser, fire! Now!
Keep it up! My turn! Please, hear my song!
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks!
I'll handle this. Behold, the soul of Arseid! Now! Radiant Phoenix Blade!
I won't let you!
Prepare yourselves! My blood boils with excitement! Black Lions! Roar!
This isn't good. I'll take you to a world of fantasy! Now, for the climax! Remedy Fantasia! Thank you everyone for listening.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks! I got this!
Let's go!
Fall! Acropost Blade!
Don't take me lightly! Leave it to me!
Resonate! Sapphiro Symphony!
Leave it to me! Pierce through! Rosetta Arrow!
Yeah!
Too easy!
My turn.
Heaven flames to me! Fall! Acropost Blade!
Let's go! Behold, the soul of Arseid! Now! Radiant Phoenix Blade!
My turn! This is my secret weapon! Holy light, gather in my bow! Take this! Gabriel Arrow! Repent for your sins!
I didn't expect to relish this so. Huh?
All right!
Right! Let's bring out the big guns! Focusing energy. Fire! Not done yet! Go! Valiant! Charge!
My turn. My soul is one with my swords. Light! Purge my foes! Gemini, Judgment!
Leave it to me.
This is the power of the Soaring Phoenix! Golden seal etched deep in my soul. Imbue my spear with the fury of the goddess! Howling Heavens!
I'm going!
Huh?
There! I'm going! Yeah!
I appreciate it!
It's my turn!
Huh?
Here I go! Glimmer! Midnight Onyx! Here I go! Ha!
My turn. Ha! Let's go. Let's go.
Heaven flames to me!
Don't give up!
Thank you. I'll treat you immediately.
I appreciate it!
Leave it to me.
There!
This is far from finished, young lions!
Wreak havoc! Chaos Storm!
Alright, let's do this! Now! Yoink! Ha! Now, for the big finish! Lethal Crusade!
All right! All right! Let's do this! Blade of Darkness! Cleave my foes! See you in Gehenna! Forceful Slayer!
I'm up! I'm up! Eternally flow. Form is emptiness. Emptiness is form. First! Second! Third! Fourth! Fifth! Sixth! Seventh! 8 leaves. Luminous abyss!
Yes! Places, everyone! The curtain is drawn! Let the show begin! And now, the grand finale! Galaxia Folly! I do hope you enjoyed yourself.
Prepare yourselves! My blood boils with excitement! Black Lions! Roar!
This is bad.
You have my
Thanks
thanks.
for the help.
I'm up!
Woohoo! White decoration!
Let's go! Cut through!
My turn.
Ebon flames to me!
I'm up! Arcus activate!
My turn.
Moving out. Arcus, activate!
Yeah!
Ebon flames to me!
Let's go.
You have my
Thanks
thanks.
for the help. I'm going. Places, everyone. The curtain is drawn. Let the show begin. And now, the grand finale. Galaxia Folly! I do hope you enjoyed yourself.
Let's go!
Alright, let's do this. Now! Doink! Ha! Now, for the big finish! Lethal Crusade!
Moving out.
Woo! White decoration!
All right.
All right. Let's do this. Blade of Darkness! Cleave my foes! See you in Gehenna! Forful Slayer!
Prepare yourselves! My blood boils with excitement! Black Lions! Roar!
Let my guard down.
Let's go! Yeah!
You have my thanks.
Thanks for the help.
It's my turn!
Woo! White decoration!
I'm up!
Yeah!
Let's go! Eternally flowing. Form is emptiness. Emptiness is form. First! Second! Third! Fourth! Fifth! Sixth! Seventh! Eight leaves! Luminous abyss! Infinite! Most impressive!
It's ready. The time has come.
The time for the 7 fragments of power to clash and become whole again.
Now they will vie for control over the reformed Great One, the being which holds the infinite power of 2 Septarians.
Come, Ordine!
Master, wait!
Father!
We had planned for the final rivalry to take place once the war below had reached its climax. It's too early. We must wait another day at the very least. Otherwise, there won't be enough energy. The Reformation will be incomplete.
It's fine, Alberic. There is more than enough strife in the world to suit our needs. Some battles wars begin long before any blood is shed. And this is no different.
You're exactly right!
Let's get this over with.
Right behind you. We'll provide support. Thanks, guys.
Hold nothing back. You must face me with all the strength you can bring to bear, all your determination, the entirety of your potential. If you do not, I, Gileath Osborn, will bring all you know to ruin.
You asked for it.
I promise I'll fight you with every last fiber of my being!
The time has come to settle this!
It's my turn!
All right.
Very well. There! It's mine!
Too easy!
I'm up!
Evan Flames to me! Too easy!
Got it.
Moving out.
Showtime! They're down! You're wide open!
Let's go! Spirit! I'm up!
It's down! An opening! Evan Flames to me! Too easy!
Yes!
Let's go!
Too easy!
It's my turn!
Now! An opening!
My turn.
Spirit! Evan Flames to me! Too easy!
I'm up! There!
Let's go! Shot! There! It's mine! I'm up!
Shit! Now!
Let's go, everyone! Yes, I hear ya!
Get back! Starball Slash! The end is nigh! Burn away in a blaze of glory!
Moving out.
Got it. Spirit!
Boom! Acropos Blade! Too easy. Now bear witness to the true power of the Evan. Return to dust!
That was foolish. It's my turn!
Ha!
I appreciate it.
Yes! Here you go!
All right.
Thanks.
It's my turn!
Ha!
I appreciate it.
All right.
Too easy.
It's my turn!
Ha! Thanks.
I'm up!
Shit! It's down! An opening! You won't escape! Perish! Too easy!
Very well. Shot! There! It's mine!
I'm up! Yeah!
Thanks. Go! Acropos Blade!
Let's go!
Spirit!
All right. I got you.
Let's go! Huh. It's down! It's mine!
Go! Acropos Blade!
I'm up!
Let's go, everyone!
I'm up!
Healing strike!
Got it.
Very well. I'll assist! My turn!
I got you.
Leave it to me. Ha!
Acropos Blade!
Let's go!
Now! An opening!
My turn! Yeah!
Thanks. All right. Spirit!
Go! Acropos Blade!
I was foolish.
Got it.
I appreciate it. Let's go!
Now! An opening!
Leave it to me. Here you go.
All right. Spirit!
You won't escape! Perish! Too easy!
My turn! Yeah!
Thanks!
I'm up!
It's down!
Let's go, everyone! Yes, sure thing!
Get back! Starball Slash! Acropos Blade!
Very well. Spirit!
Moving out.
Spirit!
Here I go! Yeah!
Let's go!
Shit! It's down! Let's go, everyone!
Understood!
Union Slash! Deadly Combination!
Well fought.
So this is...
The power of the final rivalry!
Yeah. This is it then.
Instructor!
Rean!
They vanished!
Screw the rivalry! Let's go after him!
Ordine, let's fly!
As you command. Now, Rean, this is where it all ends. There is no turning back for you. You any longer. You know that, yes?
I do. I'm also aware that my role as the sacrifice was nothing more than a backup plan. Even so, I will put everything I am into this sword.
Rean. Okay, I'm gonna do everything I can too.
Thank you, Milliam.
The 8 leaves 1 blade, and 104 military combat. A clash between swordsmen, and our final act as father and son. Truth be told, I regret never having the opportunity to train you myself.
Well, maybe we'll get the chance another time. Someday, somewhere. But for now, prepare yourself, Gileath Osborn.
Then come, Reed Schwarzer!
The pale darkness!
Something's coming. It's... Rean! Yes! He did it!
Rean! You won!
I'm so relieved.
Seriously, you always have to make us worry to the very end, don't you?
Crazy bastard pulled it off.
Huh? Is something the matter, Crow? Wait, where's Milliam?
I'm right here!
Oh, don't scare me like that. The Ashen Knight has won. This should put an end to... Milliam? What's wrong?
I had a feeling this would happen.
Huh? What do you mean?
How could it all have ended like this?
Father, what's going on?
I am not your father, and you will not see him ever again. This body was offered in service to the Ebon Knight. Thus, it shall vanish with it.
No, you can't.
Rean Schwarzer, you and your Ashen Knight have won. The fate of the world is in your hands. Do with it whatever you wish.
No, please.
Then that must mean...
Hey, you want to fill us in on what's going on here?
Okay. This just might work. What do you think, Valimar? Can you make it?
Yes, all of the powers have converged in me. Breaking through the atmosphere should pose little trouble.
What?
You...
Breaking through the atmosphere?
No! It can't be!
You can't keep it under control any longer, can you?
The curse's true form. The endless malice of Ishmelga, the Ebon Knight.
That's right.
Relinquish it to me. It belongs to me. Your soul, your entire being. Yes. Yes.
So, this is it. The being that ate away at Emperor Dreikel's and my father. When the Ebon Knight was corrupted by Maus, its logic system awoke as its own self-conscious entity. Evil personified. It sought to become an almighty being, controlling humanity by spreading its curse. But now, it's been torn from its physical form and brought to our plane. Making this my one and only chance to destroy it for good.
Wait, no! What are you going to do?
There has to be another way! You bastard! Screw you! And screw your bullshit plan, too!
Instructor! You're just joking, right?
No! No! It can't end like this!
Rean! Please, don't leave us!
What a cruel man you are.
We're coming with you. We kind of thought this might happen, but we're not gonna let you go it alone.
Seems like my time's running out too. Might as well go out with a bang.
Crow. Millium. Alright. I guess this is just how it was meant to be.
Crow! Not you too.
Please! Don't go!
Millium,
Sorry, guys. We gotta go now.
Take care of yourselves, everyone!
Don't worry. I promise we'll see each other again. Just be sure to tell everyone else goodbye for me. Thanks for everything, guys. I'm so grateful for all the time we shared together. Take care.
Hey, you guys need to get it together.
He'll be back. I'm certain of it.
Yes. Together with Milliam and Crow.
He promised us, after all.
Yeah. This is our instructor we're talking about. No. Not just our instructor. He's Reen Schwarzer of Thor's Class 7.
The pale darkness!
Something's coming. It's... Rean!
Yes! He did it!
Rean! You won!
I'm so relieved.
Seriously, you always have to make us worry to the very end, don't you?
Crazy bastard pulled it off.
Huh? Is something the matter, Crow? Wait, where's Milliam?
I'm right here!
Oh, don't scare me like that. The Ashen Knight has won. This should put an end to... Milliam? What's wrong?
I had a feeling this would happen.
Huh?
What do you mean?
Okay. This just might work. What do you think, Valimar? Can you make it?
Yes, all of the powers have converged in me. Breaking through the atmosphere should pose little trouble.
What?
You...
Breaking through the atmosphere?
No! It can't be!
You can't keep it under control any longer, can you?
The curse's true form. The endless malice of Ishmelga, the Ebon Knight.
That's right.
Relinquish it to me. It belongs to me. Your soul, your entire being. Yes. Yes.
So, this is it. The being that ate away at Emperor Drycles and my father. When the Ebon Knight was corrupted by malice, its logic system awoke as its own self-conscious entity. Evil personified. It sought to become an almighty being, controlling humanity by spreading its curse. But now, it's been torn from its physical form and brought to our plane. Making this my one and only chance to destroy it for good.
Wait, no! What are you going to do?
There has to be another way! You bastard! Screw you! And screw your bullshit plan too!
Agreed. It's far too early to give up.
Father!
His hair changed color.
Does that mean he's back to his old self?
I am. It must be because Ishmelga's hold over me has weakened. Elisa, please forgive me for everything I've done these past 10 years.
Father! It's finally you!
Rean, to the very end, your father never gave up. He knew that the only way to be rid of the Great One was to isolate its essence in our plane. With the blessing bestowed on you by the Holy Beast, you can finish what he started.
You mean the Earthen Prison? So that's what it was for all along.
It would be worth an attempt at the very least. The Great One is nearly complete. We may still have a chance to seal Ishmelga away if we act now. But first, you must remove that which has become entangled in your soul. We will need the strength of all your companions.
Well, what are we waiting for?
Our hearts are with you.
And not just ours. Everyone else is with you too. Every single person in the Empire hoping to reverse the Great Twilight and end this curse.
Let's do it! What do we have to lose?
We believe in you, Rean. So please, don't give up.
I won't. Let's do this, everyone!
I'll analyze the Great Twilight and establish a spiritual network with everyone else. I'll get Rose, Vita, and the others to help too.
Million Boost, go!
Everyone, please! Connect your hearts to Instructor Rean!
This light.
I see. They've almost made it.
Elise! Your Highness! Of course. Rean needs us. We have to help him no matter what. This is...
It's the same spiritual connection Class 7 has!
Yeah. I can feel their presence. It's like they're right here with me.
They must have used their Arcus twos along with His Highness's artifact to create a wide-range spiritual network.
Yep. We reached the final branch. Hang in there, everyone. You can do it.
Shit! Gonna have to kick this into high gear.
Right. Rean, Ash, we're coming.
We'll lend you our strength too.
Schwarzer! It's time you showed us your pride as a swordsman.
If we can only overcome this.
We may bring about a future none of us dared to dream of.
All right. Let's do it, everyone!
We'll be there soon, guys. Just you wait.
Long as we're all together, nothing can stand in our way.
Indeed. I shall fight for my lady's future, and for ours as well.
Thomas Lysander, we'll need your assistance if we hope to make it in time.
Of course. I swear it, as the partitioner.
Sounds like now's the time to strike.
Rutger. Leanne. I see. When Valimar absorbed the power of your divine knights, your souls came along with them.
Indeed. We've been watching over you through every battle since. Rean, you are the sum of the hopes of many. Now, show us the strength that lies within you.
Vi's out there counting on you. And all your buddies beside her, too.
Indeed, that is your truest strength, one which each of us lacked. Now is the time for you to use that strength. Join with your allies and purge that vile, pitiful flame from your soul!
What? Tricles, you would dare call me pitiful?
I will. He is I, and I am him. But you are not us.
What is this? Pathetic mad! Cease your pointless struggle!
8 leaves, 1 blade, 7th form, void. Enlightened! Spirit unification!
Rean! You did it! Thank goodness!
No, we're not done yet.
It's Ishmelka's astral form. Separating it from an awakener forced it to materialize in our plane.
And by trapping that form within the Holy Beast's prison, we've allowed it to merge with a tremendous amount of power. But now that it's materialized, we have a chance, however slim, of destroying it for good.
I see.
Pathetic scum! Be damned! Damned to the furthest reaches of Gehenna!
Its power is staggering.
This is only a fraction of the true might the Great One would possess were it fully reforged. But if we don't stop it soon, it will surely grow strong enough to bring the world to ruin.
This thing's no joke!
We'll just have to deal with it. Right here and now.
I'm with you there, but just how do we fight something that huge?
What about Valimar and Ordine?
Regrettably, my power level is critically low.
It appears the reforging of the Great One has drained us of all our remaining energy.
Damn it! What do we do?
Looks like we'll just have to go it alone then.
I beg to differ.
Was that Principal Le Guin? Then that means...
I've established a spirit path connection. We're coming.
I'll use my partitions to provide us some footing.
Wings, take us there! Marcus!
Made it! Sorry to keep you guys waiting.
We've got your back!
We'll be your strength, Class 7. For the honor of our Lord, and to uphold her will!
We will be the light that illuminates your path!
We've set up a spiritual network from here as well. The Courageous 2 is ready to assist you.
We can provide you backup with our remote orders.
Rean! Everyone, please! We're all counting on you!
Just promise you'll come back safely when it's over.
Sorry, guys. Don't have the strength to fight, but we can at least help you out with our orders.
Best of luck. Our future is in your hands.
Right!
This one's strong. Be careful!
Watch out! That one looks tough! Threat level high.
Let's go!
Let's go! Get him! Blast Force! My turn now. Want to see what I got? Too slow! Popcorn! Wheel of Time!
Ready to go! I will not falter again! Ready? Phantom Ray! Rest in peace.
It's my turn now. Here's our chance!
Too slow!
I'm up!
It's my turn!
Triumph! Avalon Hearts!
It's my turn! It ends here! Tulp! Rising Sun!
My turn!
About time I got this started.
Eat steel! Berserker!
I'd just give up if I were you.
I'm ready. Show me you can withstand this! Your end comes! Rakshasa Onslaught!
It's my turn. Hope you're ready. Orbital driver to maximum output. Ether strike!
Let's go! It's my turn! Eternally flowing. Form is emptiness. Emptiness is form. First! Second! Third! Fourth! Fifth!
6, 7, 8 leaves. Luminous abyss!
Moving out. All right. Let's do this. Blade of Darkness! Cleave my foes! See you in Gehenna! Fourfold Slayer!
Yes! Places, everyone! The curtain is drawn! Let the show begin! And now, the grand finale! Galaxia Folly! I do hope you enjoyed yourself.
My turn.
Thanks for the help.
Got it.
Wreak havoc! Chaos Storm!
Got it. All right, let's do this. Now! Join! Ha! Now, for the big finish! Lethal Crusade!
I'm up!
Come through!
It's my turn! Arcus activate!
Let's go! Sneaking mission, start.
Yeah!
Thanks! Thanks for the help.
My turn. Now!
You're wide open! All right, gunning for you! They're down!
It's mine!
Yes! Ha! Come to me! Kestrel Beta! Ha! Aurora Cannon!
Let's go! Ha! Cha! Now!
You're wide open!
Let's go! Ha! Weak! It's down!
You're wide open! Moving out. Wreak havoc! Chaos Storm! My turn. All right.
Let's do this! Blade of Darkness! Cleave my foes! See you in Gehenna! Foreful Slayer!
No! This cannot be! I refuse to accept this! Never! Never!
What the? I won't let you!
Instructor! Rain! It's okay! I got him!
Millium!
Stay away. Stay away from me.
Is this...
I only gave you power. The opportunity to grow stronger in strife. What is the source of human prosperity and strength, if not struggle and hardship?
This is the consciousness the Ebonite's logic system gained after being influenced by humanity. It was consumed by malice, manipulated its creators, the gnomes, and spread its curse across the world.
In other words, this thing is humanity's creation. The very concept of strife drove its every act. And for better or for worse, led us to where we are now. War forced us to innovate. Conflict forced us to evolve. In leading us to such power and knowledge, I suppose you're almost like a god.
Exactly. A god with power beyond compare. Become my awakener, and you too can...
Sorry. I'll pass. This is the beginning of a new age. An age ruled by humanity. We're going to accept responsibility for our past, the actions that created you. And by doing so, we'll rise to even greater heights. Farewell, Ishmelga. I'm not sure if you even have a soul, but I hope you find your way to Aidios.
You've finally done it, Reen.
Yeah. Somehow. To be honest, it feels a little strange talking to you like this. Father and son.
Oh, does it now? Who do you think held you in his arms when you were but an infant? I do believe I'm starting to feel a bit of regret over leaving you all to Teo.
Well, to be fair, I've known him as my dad for quite a bit longer. But I'm glad I was able to learn your true intentions. To meet the real you. There's no doubt in my mind that we're father and son. We kinda share a few of the same tendencies, after all.
Oh, such as our penchant for self-sacrifice, perhaps. I can't argue with you on that point. But unlike me, you still have a long life ahead of you. Don't throw it away for others. Use it to protect them, just as they would you. And most importantly, never give up, no matter what. Surely these lessons were at the core of your master's teachings.
I see. I understand now. All right? I'll take those words to heart.
I'm glad to hear it.
You have to go now, don't you?
I do. My time here has nearly run out. I'll forever be grateful we had this chance to finally meet as father and son.
Yeah. Me too.
As for Millium, Claire, Lecter, and Rufus, my loyal children of blood and iron, please tell them I'm sorry. Now farewell, my dear son.
Goodbye, Dad.
Instructor Rean.
So it's over then?
Yeah.
Guess the Society's making a break for it.
Yes. And it seems the Great Twilight has dissipated as well.
That's not the end of our problems, though.
Right. The Imperial Army and the Mu Mirage forces will likely begin advancing on each other soon.
In fact, Supreme Commander Van Dyke and Lieutenant General Bright may have already taken action.
Rean, your hair!
How about that? It must be a sign I'm free of the curse.
So that means you're no longer the sacrifice.
I'm so relieved. Black hair really does suit you better, Instructor.
You're back to normal now.
Good thing, too. I was getting tired of you stealing my look. Glad I got to see the real you one last time.
That's right.
Now that the Great Twilight's over.
I knew it was coming, but
Come on now. I told you I was running on borrowed time anyway. So, how about you guys send me off with some smiles this time around?
That goes for me too.
Millium?
What do you mean?
It's like I said. I was a weapon created just for the rivalries. Now that the ritual's done, I'm fading away with it. So it's time for me to say goodbye.
Millium.
No, please.
But why?
Damn it.
This is not a fate you need accept.
What? Falamar?
Ordine?
Join me, my siblings.
Let us gather together one final time. Very well.
Understood.
Huh? The Divine Knights?
Perhaps they returned due to the Great One's defeat.
Precisely. It feels as if we are awakened at last from a long, harrowing dream.
The rivalry of the Seven is complete, and the curse of the Great One is no more.
The Ebon Knight has left our ranks, but perhaps that is for the best.
Incredible. Seeing them all together. They're magnificent.
It would seem all the conditions have now been met.
Father! So you were an immortal too, huh?
Yes. I became one as a result of being taken over by the Chief of the Gnomes. I'm so sorry, my dear Elisa. We were finally able to talk for the first time in years, and now I must leave you again. But before I do, allow me to give you a gift, the fruit of my long years of research. Divine Knights, I stand before you now as Chief of the Kin of Earth and implore you. Run the Sacrament Program of Lost Zem, the Septarian of Earth. Rematerialize the sword from its concept form and convert all remaining energy to biomass to create a vessel.
Huh?
What?
Is this...
Precisely, Emma dear. What we're doing now is the very same act the mages sought to perform back in the Dark Ages. Something normally impossible. But now that we have the power of 2 Septarians, even miracles are within our grasp.
I never dreamed I would see the day when this would be possible.
You've impressed me, Black Alberic. No, Franz Reinford.
All I've done is lay the groundwork. Now I need your help.
With pleasure. Divine Knights, I stand before you now as Elder of the Kin of Fire and implore you. Run the Sacrament Program of Arc Rouge, the Septarian of Fire. Stabilize the soul that resides in the sword, and affix the other to its reconstructed vessel.
Right, very well. Understood. Of course.
Acknowledged.
What the?
Their powers are combining.
How is this possible? The Septarians of Fire and Earth being used in tandem.
It feels so warm.
Unbelievable.
Kia, is this like...
Yeah. It's like a super magnified version of the power I used to heal Shizuku.
What the hell was that? Man, why are you guys trying to upstage me? I was looking forward to making my big dramatic exit even better than last time. What gives? Why are you all staring at me like that? Have I got something on my... But how? I was fading away. I felt it. And my hair, too. My body feels whole again.
Crow, your complexion, the color of your hair. You look like yourself again.
We did it!
But, Millium...
She's still... This is a real miracle, huh? But man, I'm so tired all of a sudden. Sorry, just gotta take a little nap.
Hey, Millium!
It's okay. I think she's just fallen asleep.
Being permanently materialized into our world must have taken a lot out of her.
Hey! Reen! Crow!
Everyone.
Damn, that's some crowd!
I'm glad to see it was a success.
Father!
Valimar, Ordine, you're all...
We have used up the remaining power of the Septarians for one final miracle.
This will be the one and only time such an act will be permitted.
Thanks, partner.
Hold on. If Crow can come back, you should be able to as well, right, Father?
I'm afraid not. The chances of success are higher the less time a person has spent as an immortal. I've been like this for 10 years. This same method would not be able to revive me.
No.
My lady.
Franz.
George, it may be too late for me, but you still have a chance to atone. Erebonia will need skilled engineers to rebuild, and I know you can fill that role in my stead.
I'll do you proud.
Sharon, I am deeply grateful for the way you've watched over my family in my absence. I hope that you will continue to care for my wife, daughter, and father-in-law in the future.
Of course. I promise to serve the Reinford family for as long as I'm wanted.
So this is how you choose to leave us, my foolish disciple.
I'm sorry. Please look after yourself, Professor. And my dear Elisa, I'm sorry our time together was so short, but what little we had was the happiest of my life. Please, take care. Tell your mother I love her, and give your grandfather my regards.
I will. Thank you for everything. I love you, Father.
Valimar. Is this goodbye?
Damn. So you guys are really gonna leave after all we've been through together?
Our sole purpose was to contain the power of the Great One.
With said duty fulfilled, our time in this world is over.
Stand tall, my awakener, son of my former awakener. And my true friend. It was my privilege to stand by your side through all of your struggles and moments of joy. Machine though I may be, seeing you grow and progress warmed my heart. Reen, I am proud of the man you have become.
It was an honor to have been your awakener. Thank you for everything, my friend. I'll never forget you.
Oh, yes. Reen, Eustace, Altina. One more thing. When you find a moment, pay the workshop's biological research wing a visit. Be sure to bring the sword with you. So long.
They really were something else.
They did so much for us.
Yes. And Franz's final words.
It seems everything worked out for the best. I imagine His Excellency would be pleased.
Man, can you believe that guy? Taking the villain role and actually seeing it all the way through to the end. Guess that makes him a better dad to us Ironbloods than I gave him credit for. Maybe, deep down, that's why I never took my shot at getting revenge. Then again, since we survived, we gotta take responsibility for everything he did.
Indeed. Though I imagine you won't face too harsh a sentence. Especially since you still have a promise to keep to Princess Claudia.
What? You're kidding me, right? You RMP guys will catch a little flack, sure. But it's the intelligence division that'll end up with a boot up our ass.
Neither of you will be let off so easily. After all, the Empire will need your talents to be rebuilt. Just think of the chaos that will ensue as a result of halting Operation Jormungand so suddenly. Ceasefire negotiations will need to be held. Reparations will need to be made. Lifting the curse will do little on its own. The Empire, as we know it, may well collapse under the enormity of its sins, which is why we'll need both the Intelligence Division and the RMP to maintain order.
Well, when you put it like that...
I will be the one to bear the responsibility for His Excellency's actions. It is the best way we can go about quelling the unrest in Erebonia and solving the issue of Crossbell all at once. I can think of no better way for us Ironbloods to honor him.
Understood.
Sheesh, fine.
Farewell, Your Excellency. And thank you for everything.
So long, old man. Keep an eye on me from Gehenna, will ya?
Hey, Princey boy. If you want to take it back, now's your last chance. Looks to me like you kind of just jumped right in without thinking it over. Sure, Ouroboros doesn't turn anyone away, but it's a big decision, you know?
I've already come this far. I may as well see it through. If I stayed in Erebonia, I wouldn't face any consequences. They wouldn't imprison the Crown Prince, after all. At worst, I might be disinherited, and then Alphen or Olivert would need to bear my burdens. As things are, it would be best for me to simply disappear from the Empire. And given recent events, you seem a bit short-staffed at the moment. I think I may be able to assist you. If I were to be accepted as an enforcer, I would have the freedom to do whatever I please, correct? I could use that freedom to finally see the world outside of Erebonia. Just like Olivert.
Wow, guess you actually gave it some thought after all. Glad to see you finally grew a pair. All right then, come with me. We can take the Beowulf. And hey, I can introduce you to Daddy while we're there.
The War God? You're going to introduce me to him? You mean as your... Wait. No, this is Shirley we're talking about. Very well. Lead the way. Farewell, Alphen, Olivert. You as well, Kurt and Reen. Goodbye to all of you.
After everything that happened, over half a year passed in the blink of an eye. With the end of the Great Twilight, an armistice was declared on the second day of the Great War. Supreme Commander Van Dyke and Lieutenant General Bright worked together to minimize casualties during the negotiations. Meanwhile, the media reported that Emperor Eugen would return to the throne after recovering from his surgery. This was broadcast around the world, in tandem with the declaration that Calvard played no part in the assassination attempt. However, the truth only ended up plunging the Empire into greater turmoil and spurred a storm of criticism from other countries. Amid the chaos, Governor Regnitz stepped in to try to bring the situation under control. He issued the order for Erebonian troops to immediately return to the Empire. Many feared that Calvard might take this opportunity to strike back, but such fears proved to be unfounded. I can only assume it was because Calvard didn't want to take any chances against the far stronger Erebonian army. For the people of Erebonia, it was as if they had woken up from a nightmare. On the other hand, the people of Calvard began to criticize the Empire all the more fiercely. Fortunately, due to the evacuation efforts on the first day of the war, civilian casualties were kept to a minimum. President Rocksmith, nearing the end of his term, made careful efforts to placate his citizens. However, he found himself under serious pressure from the new president-elect and was made to demand astronomical reparations from the Empire. The provisional government in Erebonia, led by Governor Regnitz, was forced to negotiate. As part of the negotiations, he demanded that Calvard pledge to not invade Crossbell. Liberl, Remiferia, and the holy city of Arteria agreed, and jointly mounted pressure on the Republic to keep its troops within its borders. Reparations were eventually made, mostly funded by the Erebonian government, the Imperial family, the Reinford Group, and House Cayenne. As the Imperial army withdrew from Crossbell, discussions began between the Empire and Speaker McDowell. But the Governor General's personal defense force refused to stand down and took control of the city themselves. Rufus condemned their actions from prison, but they refused to back down, and the threat of a Calvardian invasion began to loom. So, the Crossbell Guardian Force, formerly the Crossbell Military Police, worked with the citizens to devise a solution, and on the day of Arkanseal's star-studded comeback performance, the Governor General's defense force was quickly subdued by citizen volunteers, and Crossbell was free once more. At the heart of the operation were the officers of the Special Support Section, saving their country yet again. While foreign affairs were steadily heading in the right direction, Erebonia's domestic issues showed no signs of stopping. With the news of Chancellor Osborne's death, the nobles he had kept in check scrambled to reclaim their former power. Class warfare broke out once more. And though the Imperial family tried to restore order, rumors of Prince Cedric's role in the Chancellor's warmongering caused their pleas to fall on deaf ears. The Crown Prince's mysterious disappearance only put them in a more difficult position. Just when things seemed their worst, Princess Alphen and the newly returned Prince Olivert engaged the public directly and sincerely. As a result, the Imperial family slowly started to win back the people's trust the continent over. Meanwhile, news of Crossbell's liberation stirred talk of independence in Jirai and North Ambria. Some argued, however, that the 10 years Jirai had spent as an SEZ had bolstered its economy and reduced poverty. The issue is still hotly debated, and those in charge are monitoring the situation carefully for fear of more conflict igniting. Though Chancellor Osborne's right-hand man, Governor General Rufus Albarea, was apprehended, Majors Lecter Arundel and Claire Revelt managed to avoid arrest. Not only that, but they remained at the Intelligence Division and the RMP, respectively, focusing their efforts on restoring order to their country. That said, both groups lost their position as government organizations and underwent extensive restructuring. The Bracer Guild regained its former status in the Empire, and for the first time in 5 years, all its branches were reopened. High-ranking bracers from all over the continent helped to combat disorder and unrest within the Empire. According to certain classified information from the Guild, Prince Cedric, thought to be missing, had in fact become a member of Ouroboros. There are even rumors that he was made an enforcer, but that remains unverified. Meanwhile, after tirelessly aiding the other great houses, Governor Regnitz, and the Government Accountability Inspectorate for months, Acting Duke Eustace Alborea rejoined his allies for a journey to a certain place. Each of his friends had been busy restoring peace to their country in their own way, but now, with the embers of war finally cooled, they were able to meet once more.
Whoa.
A backup OZ-74 unit.
So your dad prepared this, Elisa?
That's right. He must have worked on it in the brief moments when he was himself. It couldn't have been an easy secret to keep from the Ebon Knight.
Your father was a great man.
Damn right. Can't be easy fooling someone who's in your head.
For real.
It seems like the mana inside is stable.
And it should be easy to work with such a pure soul as hers. We'll be right here to help whenever you're ready.
Go ahead, Eustace.
Come on, man. What are you waiting for?
Now, bring out the sword.
Right.
Altina, you should help too.
Don't worry. I know it'll turn out just fine.
That's right, Allie. Be brave.
I will.
Everything's stable. This should work.
Adios, please.
Now'd be the time for a miracle. I'm sure we've got one or two left, right? If you're listening out there, these kids need you.
The sword.
Huh? Where am I? Reen? Tilly? What are you guys doing here? Eustace? What gives? You look like you've seen a ghost. Wait, what happened? Last thing I remember,
William!
You're awake! Whoa, guys! What's gotten into you? Anyone want to tell me what this is all about?
It's kind of a long story.
So much happened while you were asleep.
But before we get to all that...
Welcome back, Milliam.